We're standing here in the intake area, the place where, you know, the nerve center for where everything happens. People will be here to welcome guests coming in. They'll be here to do an intake with new people staying here. They'll be here to take notes about what's happening, what do people need, and sending out referrals to people in our broader community to make sure that everybody staying here has the resources they need to get back on their feet. We're standing here in the shelter for single adult men. We have 18 beds here, which is similar to what we had in our old shelter. The difference is, as you'll see later, that we now have flex rooms that can provide cold weather shelter when it's cold out, and we just want to make sure that nobody in Nashua freezes to death. Here we're standing where the caseworkers, the program director are all going to have their main offices. It seems simple, it seems common sense, but this is the first time that the staff working with people staying here, helping them get access to resources, helping them get a job that they can then move on to permanent housing. They're all going to be working in the same location. They're all going to be working in these offices, helping people who are staying here, and they don't have to go down the street. They can just go around the hall and have an appointment with somebody that they need to talk to. This may not seem all that exciting, but for us it's huge. We have an elevator where people who are having issues with mobility, need a wheelchair, need a walker, are able to get up and down the different floors of the building. So come on board, we're going to go up to the second floor. And this is one of the flex rooms. The idea behind the flex rooms is they provide an opportunity for us to use them in a variety of different ways. One way, as you can see right now, is providing a cold weather shelter. These are for folks that may not be interested in being as part of our program long term, but need a place to stay. And with the benefit of the flex rooms, we're able to make sure that 24 different people are able to have a cot to sleep tonight. Let's go over to the second flex room. We can kind of see what it will look like. And now we're in the south flex room. Here you get a sense of people can hang out, talk with each other, small informal groups. There are some tables over to my left where people can be working together on a collaborative project. Again, spaces where we're able to do things like classes, AA meetings, or even poetry workshops. The rooms allow us to provide the programs that people need to be able to get on with their lives and get into permanent housing. The children's room is a tremendous asset to the new shelter. It allows us to make sure that kids between the ages of 1 to 5 are able to have a place to play. We anticipate being able to offer childcare in the morning on a regular basis to 14 kids, and then allowing flexible emergency childcare in the afternoon to people who need to have a place for their kids while they go to an appointment, have an interview, or maybe they just need a 2-hour break. Here we are in the shelter for single women. We'll have 14 single women staying here at any given time. You see right now we have 5 to 6 people just because we've just moved in. We're going to show you some of the beds around here and then also do a shot of the bathroom facilities, which I think actually look quite nice. People will sometimes ask me, what is the difference the new shelter is going to make? And there's a lot of different ways, but this is just one of them. In our old shelters, we had one washer, one dryer for all the families staying. staying with us. In our old shelter, we had 1 washer, 1 dryer for 18 single men and 9 single women. As you can see here, we have 6 washers and 6 dryers for the families and single women staying with us. And there's an additional 2 washers and 2 dryers for the single men at a different location. Everybody, you and I appreciate clean clothes. We're going to make sure that everybody staying in our shelter has access to clean laundry and feeling good when they get up in the morning. Now we're on the 3rd floor. This is the floor that's going to be dedicated to families experiencing homelessness. It is huge. We have gone from having 18 beds for families to over 48 beds for families. Here you get a sense of like what a bunk where a mom or a dad and their kids might be up on top might be staying. There's actually 4 different sleeping areas in this quad that if I have a small family, they might just be in this room. If I have a larger family, perhaps a mom with 3 kids, a dad, a mom, 2 moms, whoever it is, they would all be able to have rooms that fit the family rather than having the families fit the room. It's huge in terms of our being able to offer appropriate sheltering for the families that are needing assistance. We're now standing in one of the several areas that families have to congregate, to socialize, to hang out with their kids. There's a television there that people can watch during the evening, a table that people can gather around, maybe to have dinner, maybe to work on homework. But the nice thing is that we've made all these spaces very flexible, so I can take this table, pick it up like this, and now the space becomes available for people to just sit around, and the bottom of the table actually is a chalkboard for kids to write on. This is the dining room for families staying in the emergency shelter. It can be used for breakfast, for dinner, for lunch, for homework, for games, just a place to hang out. It has great views of the outside and what's happening in the rest of Nashua. This is the kitchen for families staying in the emergency shelter. There are a total of 4 refrigerators here for each of the quads. Each family will get a shelf or 2 within the refrigerator. We have some fabulous cabinetry that was donated by Phase Cabinets here in town, and the countertops are, believe it or not, granite donated by Rapana Stoneworks. We're now on the 4th floor. This is our last stop of the tour. We're standing in one of the 11 units that are going to be used as long-term housing for people who are experiencing homelessness. We will oftentimes get people who will need to stay with us for a long period of time. The average length of stay for somebody staying in our shelter is a little bit more than a month, but sometimes we'll have people who are staying with us for a year or more. Just recently, we had a woman who needed a double hip replacement, and she couldn't get the surgery because she didn't have a place to be. So we would move her into an apartment like this. It has room for a bed, for a TV, a kitchen, things like that. But the most important part of this is it has a door with a doorknob and a key that will lock. And she would have been able to say, I'm going to be here, recover from my hip surgery, and then move on to wherever else she needed to go.